Go.
Hello everyone, my name is Diksha and I am from the Bodhi Academy. So I'll be taking some chapters of 10th standard which will be there for this exam, which are some of the important chapters for this exam. So today I'll be starting with the very first chapter, that is the carbon and its compounds. So in previous chapters we have seen that some important compounds play a very crucial role in our day-to-day life. Okay, and we got to know the importance of those compounds, but in this chapter we will specifically see the carbon and its compounds, means the compounds of carbon. Okay, so in our day-to-day life where we can see the carbon, like when we consume food, it's converted in the form of glucose. In glucose there is carbon, in the glucose chain there is a carbon which is present. Then when we respire, we give out the we take in the oxygen and we give out the carbon dioxide. So that time in carbon dioxide also we can see the carbon present. Okay, so this is the in our day-to-day life we can see the carbon can be used in the various forms. So today we will specifically see the carbons and its compounds. So how carbon is important to us in elemental as well as in combined form, that we will see. Okay, so carbon, it has a property to form a covalent bond. Okay, now what do you mean by covalent bond? You all must be wondering what is covalent bond. So we will see what is covalent bond. So carbon has the atomic number 6. Yeah, so carbon is having the atomic number 6. So that means while writing the electronic configuration of carbon, how we will write the electronic configuration? It will be 2 and 2 comma 4, right? So this is the electronic configuration of carbon. Now for this for carbon to be stable, for carbon to become stable, we need here 2 more electrons to become stable. Yeah, 4 more electrons to become stable. Now we have just 4 electrons here, so we need 4 more electrons for the carbon to become stable, right? But only we have 4 electrons. So what we can do is we can write this in the form of shells. So for carbon we have this as a nucleus. This is the first shell, this is the second shell, right? So in first shell we have 2 electrons and in second shell we have 4 electrons, right? So now how many more electrons we need here to complete the octet? We need 4 more electrons to complete the octet or to complete the noble gas configuration, right? But what happens is, if carbon has to gain 4 electrons, okay, if carbon has to gain 4 electrons, this nucleus can't hold this many electrons together. So this carbon, this nucleus can hold only 1 or 2 electrons together, but when 4 electrons have to be gained, the nucleus is not capable of holding this much of electrons. And the other way we can see that this carbon can either gain or either lose. So this electrons, 4 electrons which are there, if this carbon has to lose these 4 electrons, to lose something, this carbon needs some energy. But this carbon don't have that much of energy to lose all 4 electrons. So the other way which carbon is having is to share the electrons. Okay, so this carbon can neither lose nor gain the electrons, but it can share the electrons with other atom. Now we will see how it can share the electrons. Okay, suppose if you take the example of carbon with hydrogen, how many electrons? Let us take first hydrogen only. So when hydrogen is combining with hydrogen, okay, when one hydrogen atom is combining with other hydrogen atom, what it will form? It will form because since hydrogen is having one electron in its shell, this hydrogen is having one atomic number, so it's having one electron in its shell, right? So since hydrogen is having one electron, it can form a duplet. Why duplet? Because we are having electronic configuration in this form, right? So since we are having electronic configuration in this form, we are having only one electron in hydrogen atom, so it can form the two electrons, that is duplet, to attain the noble gas configuration. So this hydrogen have only one electron here, right? And this hydrogen also have one electron here. Okay, so to form a duplet, this hydrogen needs one more electron, and also this hydrogen needs one more electron. So what these two hydrogens will do, they both will share its one electron with each other to form a duplet. So this hydrogen will share this electron with this hydrogen, and the other hydrogen will share this electron with this hydrogen. So they will share the electron with each other, forming a covalent bond. So this is what is called as the covalent bond. Okay, so this is the covalent bond between the two hydrogens. Now we will see the covalent bond between the oxygens, two oxygens, how they will form. Suppose let us take one oxygen. What is the number of oxygen, atomic number, or what is the atomic number of oxygen? It is 8. So atomic number of oxygen is 8. So how many valence electrons oxygen will be having? It will be having 2, 6 configuration, right? So since it is having 2, 6 configuration, how many remaining atoms, remaining electrons which are required for oxygen to complete its octet? It needs 2 more electrons here, because we need 8 here, right? So here we need 2 more electrons. So what oxygen will do? Oxygen, let us take, these are the 6 electrons which are in outermost shell. So 6 electrons acts as a valence shell electrons for oxygen. So we can write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So these 6 are the valence electrons for oxygen. Now if oxygen has to combine with other oxygen atom, how it will combine with other oxygen atom? Same like hydrogen. How hydrogen has combined with other hydrogen? By sharing the electrons. So oxygen also will combine with the other oxygen atom by sharing the electron. So we can take other oxygen atom which is having the same configuration, that is, it's having the 6 valence electrons in its shell. Okay. Now this oxygen has 6 electrons, this oxygen has 6 electrons. Now this oxygen needs how many more electrons to complete the octet or to attain the stability? More 2 electrons, right? Since 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 2 more electrons, when they are added, it will become 8 electrons. So that time the oxygen will attain the stability, means will complete the octet. Same way with this oxygen. So what this oxygen will do? It will take 2 electrons from this, means this oxygen will share its 2 electrons with this oxygen, and same way this oxygen is sharing its 2 electrons with this oxygen. The meaning is that these 2 oxygens are shared by both the, means these 4 electrons which are there, which are of 2 of each oxygen atom, they are shared by both the oxygen atoms with each other, means they are sharing the 4 electrons with each other. So we can draw its structure like this. This is the electron dot structure of 2 oxygen, that is O2 molecule. So since this oxygen is sharing its 2 electrons with this oxygen, and this oxygen is sharing its 2 electrons with this oxygen, they are attaining the stability, or they are forming the octet. Okay, so this way they can form a bond. Now since we can say that when 2 electrons are being shared by each atom, they are forming a single bond. But when 4 electrons are shared with each other, which bond they will form? They will form one bond here, and they will form one bond here. So this way they are forming the double bond. So when 2 oxygen are combining with each other, they are forming a molecule of O2. They are having a double bond between each other. Okay. Now next we will see about the nitrogen. Okay. So nitrogen is having the number 7, right? So nitrogen is having atomic number 7. So we can write this in the form of electronic configuration like 2, 5. Because in first shell we have 2 electrons, in second shell we have only 5 electrons. And this is the valence shell. Okay. So since we have 5 electrons in a valence shell, the valence electrons of nitrogen are 5. So we can write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So these are the 5 electrons of nitrogen. Now next, if we are combining this nitrogen with another nitrogen, same valency we will get. That is, same valence electrons will be having. So this nitrogen is combining with this nitrogen, right? Now this nitrogen is having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 electrons, and also the same with another nitrogen. Now how they will combine with each other? To combine with each other, they need to share some electrons with each other, okay, and to form the bond with each other. So for this nitrogen to attain the stability, how many more electrons this nitrogen needs? Since it's having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it needs more 3 electrons. Same with this nitrogen. Since it's having 5 electrons, it needs more 3 electrons. So this nitrogen will share its 3 electrons with this nitrogen, and same this nitrogen will share its 3 electrons with this nitrogen. Okay. So same, they will be forming this type of electron dot structure. But here we had only 4 electrons. Here we are having 6 electrons which are being shared with each other. So we can write it as like this. Okay. So what does this means? That these 6 electrons are being shared between both the nitrogen, and this single nitrogen is completing its octet by taking these 6 electrons plus 2 electrons, and same way with this nitrogen. These 6 shared electrons and these 2 electrons are forming the octet and gaining the stability by forming a bond. So in this case we have seen the single bond because there were only 2 electrons. In this case we have seen double bond because we were having 4 electrons. But in this case, since we are having 6 electrons, we are having 1, 2, 3. It is a triple bond that we are having here. Okay. So this was all about the single, double and triple bond, and these bonds are covalent bond. Why covalent bonds? Because the bonds are formed by sharing the electrons with each other. So that's why we name it as covalent bond. Okay. So next part, we will see about the carbon when it is combining with the other elements, how it's forming the covalent bond. Okay. Now when carbon is combining with hydrogen compounds or hydrogen element, how it's forming the bond? Let us take the atomic number of carbon. The atomic number of carbon is 6. Okay. So what will be the configuration of carbon? It will be 2, 4. Right? It is 2, 4. So carbon is having how many valence electrons here? It is having 4 valence electrons in the outermost shell. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So carbon is having how many electrons? 4 electrons. And now if hydrogen has to be combined with carbon, how many hydrogens do we need here? We need 4 hydrogens. Okay. So we can write 1 hydrogen here, 1 hydrogen here, 1 hydrogen here and here. Okay. Now we know that each hydrogen is having 1 electron, right? So now why we are taking 4 hydrogens only? Because we know that carbon is having how many valence electrons? 4 electrons. And how many more electrons carbon need? It needs 4 more electrons to complete the octet or to gain the stability. So that's why we need 4 hydrogen, because we know that each hydrogen will be having 1 electron in its orbital or shell. Okay. So each hydrogen is having 1 electron in its shell. Okay. Now the same like the previous method, we have seen the oxygen, nitrogen and hydrogen, how they are combining and they are forming the bonds. Same way we will see here that this carbon is having 4 electrons already they are having, but it needs 4 more electrons to complete the octet or to attain the stability. And all these hydrogens, they need 1 more electron to complete its duplet or to attain the stability. So when we combine this hydrogen with this carbon, it is giving how many electrons to it? It is giving 1 electron to this carbon. When you are combining this hydrogen, it's giving 1 electron. Same way here, same way here. So each hydrogen is giving its 1 electron to this carbon, and this carbon has completed its octet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this carbon has completed its octet, right? So this 8 electrons by sharing, okay, these 4 electrons we have of hydrogen and 4 electrons of carbon, when they are sharing with each other the electrons, we get the carbon stable, okay, the carbon is stable now. But what about hydrogens now? Since this carbon is having this 1 electron and this hydrogen is already having this electron, so this electron is being shared with this hydrogen, okay, because to attain the stability for hydrogen 2. If carbon is taking electrons from them, it also carbon has to give something to the hydrogen, right? So carbon is giving its 1 electron to hydrogen, attaining the stability of hydrogen. So same way this is done with all the 4 carbons. So this way we can have the CH4 molecule, and this CH4 is called as methane. Okay, so CH4 is formed by the forming bond between the carbon and the hydrogen, okay, and the name given for this compound is methane. It is one type of hydrocarbon which is formed. Hydro means hydrogen, carbon means the carbon atom, okay. So this is the hydrocarbon that we get when we combine 4 atoms of hydrogen with carbon, okay. Now this was about the methane. Now let us take 2 carbon atoms and the hydrogen atoms corresponding to it. So if we take 2 carbon atoms, we will be having 6 hydrogen atom to it, okay. How that is possible, that we will see. So we are having 2 carbon atoms, right? Here we are having 2 carbon atoms. So each carbon atom is having how many electrons? 4. So we can write 1, 2, 3, 4, right? And here also this carbon is having 4 electrons. Okay. Now for each carbon, how many electrons it needs to complete the octet? 4 more electrons. So we will see. Now this carbon is having 1 electron here and this 3 electrons. So it's having 4 electrons with it. Same, this carbon is having 4 electrons. But how many more electrons it needs? 4 electrons to this carbon, 4 electrons to that carbon. So let us take hydrogens to it. So if you take hydrogen here, it is having 1 electron. Hydrogen here, it's having 1 electron. Same here, having 1 electron. So we can do the same thing at that side. So 1, 2 and 3, right? Now let us count the number of electrons of each carbon atom. So here we are having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and this carbon is sharing its 1 electron with this carbon. So this is 7th and this is 8. So now octet is complete of this carbon. Same way with this carbon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So here also we are getting the octet. So in both the cases we can see that octet is complete. So we can write this. We can write the electron dot structure in this way. Okay. Now these 2 electrons are shared between each carbon atom to complete the octet. Okay. And these hydrogens, they are having their duplet completed. Like this. Okay. Now since this carbon, each carbon is sharing its 1 electron to other carbon, we can say that they are forming the single bond between each other. Okay, they are forming the bond between each other, that is single bond. And this hydrogen also, they are forming the single CH bond between each other. And the formula for the compound is C2H6, and the name for this compound is ethane. Now ethane is the another type of hydrocarbon. Okay. Now in this carbon or this hydrocarbon, we have seen that they are forming all the single bonds. So when the single bonds are formed, the single bonds when they are formed, they are called as saturated hydrocarbons. Okay, the name which is given is saturated hydrocarbons. Now the word saturated means that the compound which is forming by covalent bonding, they are having all single bonds. So single bonds meaning, you have to remember, it is saturated hydrocarbon or saturated compound. Okay. Now next we will see about the unsaturated compound. So next is unsaturated compound. Now saturated meaning single bond, that we have seen. What is unsaturated means? So if we are having C2H4, okay, the name of this compound is ethene. If you try to write the electron dot structure for this hydrocarbon, what it will be? We will see that. So we are having how many carbons here? 2 carbons. So we can write 2 carbons over here. Okay. So we can write, now we can write the valence electrons for each carbon. So we are having 1, 2, 3, 4 electrons, right? We are having here also 4 electrons. Okay, but see here, how many hydrogens do we need here for each carbon? Now since there are 4 hydrogens here, okay, and 2 carbons here, 4 hydrogens will not be taken by single carbon atom. The 4 hydrogens will be taken by the 2 hydrogens will be taken by each carbon atom. That means 2 hydrogens from this will be taken by this carbon, and the remaining 2 will be taken by that carbon. So it will be 2 hydrogens with this and 2 hydrogens with this. Okay. Now we are having 4 electrons with each carbon, right? So this hydrogen is giving its 1 electron here. Also this hydrogen is giving its 1 electron. Same way, these 2 hydrogens, they are giving its 1 electron to the carbon. Now let us check the valency or the electrons of carbon. How many electrons carbon have with its atom? So this carbon have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 electrons, and this is the shared one, that is the 7th one, right? And this carbon have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 electrons with the shared one. So each carbon needs how many more electron to complete the octet or to attain the stability? It needs 1 electron, right? So we have to give 1 electron to each carbon to attain the stability. Now how to give that 1 electron to each carbon? Now since we are having 2 hydrogens here, we are not having any hydrogen here. So this electron we can take to share with this carbon. Okay. Now this carbon has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right? 8 octet is complete. And this carbon, this electron is also not participating in bonding with other hydrogen, since these 2 hydrogens are occupied. So we can take this electron at this side. So now let us check the stability or the octet of the carbon. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now for this carbon octet is complete. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. For this carbon also the octet is complete. So we can say that for both the carbons we can complete the octet, but in previous case we were having single bonds, each single bond. But in this case we are having the double bond, since the 4 electrons are involving in sharing the 2 carbons. Okay, sharing the electrons of 2 carbon. So we are having here the double bond. Okay, so how we can show this in electron dot structure? We can show it in this manner. Okay, so same here in this manner, and these are shown individually. So these 4 electrons, they are forming a double bond between each other, and that double bond can also be called as unsaturated compound. Okay, that is also called as unsaturated compound. Now we have seen one type of unsaturated compound, right? Now there is another type of unsaturated compound which is involving more than 2 bonds, that we will see when we are having C2H2 formula. We call this compound as ethyne. Okay, this is the one type of alkyne which is there. So we are having alkanes, alkenes and alkynes. So alkyne is, the example of alkyne is ethyne. Okay, so we are having how many carbons here? 2 carbons. So we can take 2 carbons. And how many hydrogens do we have here? 2 hydrogens. So we can write one H here and one H here, or else we can write the 2 hydrogens at this side. So one H here and one H here, right? Now how many electrons do we have in the carbon? Valence electrons, we have 4 electrons. So 1, 2, 3, 4, right? And also same here, 4 electrons. And how many electrons do we have in the hydrogen, the valence electrons? 1 electron. So 1 and 1 here. Now let us count the number of electrons in each carbon atom, if they are complete octet, if they are forming the octet, or incomplete octet they are forming. So this carbon 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and this carbon it's having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So how many more electrons do they need? They need 2 more electrons to complete the octet. Now this electron is participating in bonding. Also this electron is participating in bonding. But what about these 2 electrons? Are they participating in bonding? No. So they are not participating in bonding. So we can take these electrons to form bond with carbon. Okay, so we can take this electron this side and this electron this side to share the electron with other carbon. Same way we can do, we can take this electron here and this electron here. Now let us check the octet of the carbon. So we are having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now for this carbon octet is complete, right? For this carbon 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So for both the carbon octet is complete. So now they can form the bond and they can attain the stability. So this carbon is having the 8 electrons and also this carbon is having the 8 electrons, and also both the hydrogens have completed their duplet with each other. So we can say that this both carbon have gained the stability by forming the how many bonds? They have formed the triple bonds. Okay, they have formed a triple bond between each other to gain the stability. And this is also one type of unsaturated hydrocarbon or unsaturated compound. Okay, so this was about saturated and unsaturated hydrocarbons. So till now we have seen that carbon can form bond with the other carbon and also the hydrogen. So we have seen about the hydrocarbons. But now we will see that we have seen only 2 carbons are forming bonds with other hydrogens and carbon. But now we will see how many more atoms of carbon can combine with each other. Now this carbon can combine with other carbon because they are having the unique property called as catenation. Now what do you mean by catenation? Catenation is a property in which carbon can form bond with other carbon compounds, and that could be many number of carbon compounds. Okay. That is one property. And also carbon is having one property in which carbon can form the bond with other atoms, that is the atoms other than carbon and hydrogen. Okay, so carbon have the property of forming bonds with other atoms. So now we will see the carbon when it's forming bond, how it's forming. It's forming in the form of straight chains, branches and rings. So we will see about that. So first we will see about the straight chain. Okay, in this straight chain carbon is forming bond with other hydrogens. So first we have seen the example of methane. In methane we have seen that it's forming bond with 4 hydrogen atoms, right? This was methane. Now if we are taking ethane, this is methane. If we are taking ethane, that is C2H6. We are having 2 carbons, right? And we are having 3 hydrogens on each side. Okay, so this hydrogens, when they are forming bond with carbon, we can call it ethane. Now next we can see propane. So propane, we are having 3 carbon atoms. Okay, so 3 carbon atoms, and for 2 carbons we are having 3 hydrogens bonded, and for the middle carbon we are having 2 hydrogen bonded. So this is the structure of propane. Now let us take next structure, that is butane. In butane we are having 4 carbons and the hydrogens which are attached to each carbon. Okay. Now in all these structures we have seen that carbon which is there, it is forming the straight chain with another carbon. So here it's forming the straight chain. Here also it is straight. Here also it is straight. And this hydrogens, it is bonded to each carbon, right? So these are called as a straight chain hydrocarbons. Okay. The formula for this is C2H6. The formula for this is C3H8. And the formula for butane is C4H10. Okay. So this is the straight chain hydrocarbons which we get to see in the hydrocarbons. Now next we will see about the branched hydrocarbons. Okay. So next is branched chain. Now what do you mean by branch chain? Straight means the carbons are in a straight line. So branched means the carbons will be arranged in branched form. So if we take the example of butane, that is C4H10. Okay. So how we can arrange the carbon atoms here? We can arrange it like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So these are arranged in straight form, and to each carbon atom we have hydrogens which are attached to it. Okay, this way. So this way we can form a straight chain of carbon, right? The other way we can form the C4H10 molecule by drawing it, or by drawing the structure of it in other way. So we can write, let us suppose we have to write these 3 carbon atoms in the straight chain form, and we can write this 1 carbon atom like this, okay, below the middle carbon. Okay. Now what you have to do, what you have to check, you have to just check that if the valency of carbon is completed or not. So for this carbon, this 1 bond is there. So to complete its valency, that is 4, how many more bonds we need? We need 3 more bonds, right? Since carbon should have 4 bonds, 4 bonds means 8 electrons. So since it's having 2 electrons already, we need 6 more electrons, that is a 3 bond. So we have to write 3 hydrogens here for first carbon. Same way with this carbon. Since it's having this 1 bond, we need 3 more bonds. So we can write 1, 2, third bond. This carbon is having how many bonds already? 1, 2, 3. So it's already having 3 bonds. So how many more bonds do we need? Only 1 bond. So we can write 1 hydrogen over here. and this carbon has one bond, so we can write more 3 hydrogens to complete the 4 bonds of carbon. Now can you notice the difference between this compound and this compound, or this structure and this structure? Though the formula is same, this structure is having carbons arranged in the straight chain, but this structure is having carbon arranged in branch chain. Okay, so the C4H10, which is butane, it can have 2 different structure, one in straight form, another in branched form. So this is called a branch arrangement of the hydrocarbons. Okay. Now next we will take the ring structure or ring arrangement. So till now we have seen carbon and hydrogen are arranged in straight chain form and branched form, right? So now we will see that if they can be arranged in ring form too. Now we have this structure, that is C6H6. The name is benzene. Okay, and we know that it's already given that it is a cyclic structure. Cyclic means it is not open structure, it is closed structure. So how we can arrange these 6 carbon atoms? Now if you have suppose 3 carbon atoms, then we can arrange them 3 carbon atoms in a cyclic structure. We can arrange them like this, no? C, 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 right? Cyclic means, so they are forming a closed structure, right? If we are having 4 carbon atoms, 1, 2, 3, 4, so we can arrange them in square form like this, right? So we are having square. If we are having 5, we can arrange them in pentagon form. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this way we can arrange the carbon atoms, right? So similarly, if you have 6 carbon atoms, okay, if you have 6 carbon atoms, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We can arrange them in hexagon form. Okay, so we can arrange them in hexagon form. So we are having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We can have the arrangement of carbon atoms in this way. Now before benzene, we will see another structure of carbon, which is called as cyclohexane. Okay, now when we are having 6 carbons in a straight chain, what we call it? We call it hexane, right? Now you all must be knowing the different alkanes which you are having. When we are having single carbon, it is called as methane. When we are having 2 carbons, it is called as ethane. When we are having 3 carbons, it is called as propane. So similarly, when we are having 6 carbons, it is called as hexane. Okay, so hexane structure is having 6 carbons. They are arranged in a cyclic manner with each other. Okay, now this all carbons, they are having single bonds. So now if they are having single bonds, now how many more bonds do they need here? So this carbon is having 1, 2 bond here. So how many more bonds this carbon needs? More 2 bonds. So it will be having 1 H and second H over here. So this is having 2 hydrogen. Same way this carbon is having 2 hydrogen. Why they are having 2 hydrogen? Because see, this carbon is having how many bonds already? This one and this second. So more 2 bonds it needs to complete the valency, or to complete the octet it needs 4 more electrons. Means this is 1 electron, this is another, so they are forming bond. This is 1 electron, this is another, they are forming a bond. So same way we are having all 8 electrons or the 4 bonds. So here 4 bonds are completed. Same here 1, 2, 3, 4 bonds are completed. Same here we are having H1 here, 1 H here, here also. Similarly, all carbons will be having 2 hydrogen bonds. Okay, so this is forming a structure which is having C6, that is 6 carbon atoms, and H12. So 6H12, which is called as cyclo, since it is cyclic and since it's having 6 carbon atoms, it is called as cyclohexane. So this is the structure of cyclohexane. Okay. So now if we take double bonds in the in between 2-3 carbon atoms, okay. So if we take double bond here, if we take double bond here, and if we take double bond here, so what will happen now? What is the change that we can see here? So this carbon is having this double bond. So this carbon is having how many bonds now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? But do we need 5 bonds? No, we need only 4 bonds, because carbon should have only 4 bonds. So we have to remove one hydrogen from here. Same way this carbon, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This carbon is having how many bonds? 5 bonds. So do we need 5 bonds? No, we need only 4 bonds. So we have to remove one hydrogen from here also. Same way we have to remove hydrogens from all carbons. See, why we are removing the hydrogens? Because we have written the double bond between each carbon, means in alternate manner. Okay. So now this compound is called as benzene. Okay. This compound is called as benzene. Since it's having double bond, it is ending with ene, in. And since it is having H atom, okay, H atom attached to each carbon atom, it is called as C6H6 compound, or C6H6 formula that it is having. Okay. So this is the benzene compound, which is coming in the ring structure. Okay. So this was about the branched, straight chain and ring structure of the hydrocarbons. Okay. Now till now we have seen that carbon is combining with other elements, that is only the hydrogen element. Okay, carbon is combining with hydrogen element and forming hydrocarbons. We have seen it in different ways, straight chain, then branch, then ring structure. Okay, but as we know that carbon has that property to form the compounds with carbon as well as the other atoms too. So when the carbon is forming compound with hydrogen, it is called as hydrocarbons. But when the carbon is forming compound with other atoms than hydrogen, that means that atoms is called as heteroatom. Okay, that means the heteroatom is combining with carbon to form the compound. Now many atoms or many such molecules combine with carbon to form a compound. Now this some specific atoms or molecules which are forming a bond with carbon, they are called as functional groups. Now we will study the different functional groups. Okay. So this can be halogens. Halogens, like you all have seen in periodic table, different groups we having. So one group is called as halogen. So this could be halogens. Then we are having alcohols, carboxylic acids, then esters, ketones, aldehydes. So these are the different types of functional groups. So first we will see about the halogens. Halogens could be any halogen, that is chlorine, bromine, iodine or fluorine. Okay, so this could be any halogen which is forming bond with carbon. And next we can say alcohol. Alcohol is denoted by this formula, that is OH. Okay. Then third we can have ketone. Ketone is denoted by this formula or this way. Then we can have aldehyde, which is denoted by like this, and finally we are having a carboxylic acid, which is denoted by this formula. Okay, so these are the functional groups which can combine with carbon or hydrocarbons to form another compound. Okay, because carbon is it's friendly, The carbon always want to share the bond, or it want to form a bond with another atom or molecule. So the carbon, since it is friendly, these are the functional groups who want to join the carbon to form another molecule or compound. Okay. So these are the different types of functional groups. Now when we add halogens to alkane or to hydrocarbons, the name which you have to give of halogen, it will come, since it is chlorine here. If you have chlorine here, the name of chlorine will come as a prefix, that is this, chloro. When the bromine is there, it will come as bromo. When the iodine is there, it will come as iodo. Same way. Okay. But when we are having alcohol, okay, alcohol, it will come as a suffix. Suffix means the name which we have, that name will end with that suffix. Okay. So when alcohol we have, we will be name, we will give the name as ol. O-L, ol. When we have ketone, we will give the name as O-N-E, one. When we have aldehyde, it is ending with ul, and when we have acid, it is ending with oic acid. So these are the names which you have to put when you are combining the hydrocarbons and functional group with each other. So if you have alcohol group in any hydrocarbon which is combining, you can end the name of that hydrocarbon with ol, that is ol. If you have ethane, okay, if you have ethane, and if you are adding alcohol to that, okay, any alcohol to that, then what will be the name of this? It will be ethanol. Ethanol. Why ethanol? Because ethane plus alcohol. Since OL is the suffix of the alcohol, the name will end with OL. So it will be ethanol. Okay. Since we are combining the name, we have to remove the E from the ethane. Okay. And this is starting with the vowels, that is O, E, I, O, U. These are the vowels, right? So since it is starting with the vowel, we have to remove the E and we have to add the all over there. So that is the ethanol. Similarly, we can name other hydrocarbons with the functional group in the same manner. Okay.